Hello and welcome to Tradeflow Television,
bringing you valuable analysis and actionable intelligence
through the global commodity markets.
These are some of the key topics that we will be looking into in today's program.
First, let's take a look at the overnight headlines which are impacting the commodity markets.
Copper inventories in warehouses tracked by the Shanghai Futures Exchange (SHFE) fell below 100,000 tons for the first time in more than 17 months on Wednesday on tight scrap supply and solid Chinese demand. In the week ended June 24, copper stocks in SHFE warehouses fell 9.1% to 99,971 tons, their lowest since January 11, 2019, exchange data showed. That compared to 380,085 tons in March, which was the highest level so far this year.
Moving on to the top news in the energy sector.
U.S. commercial crude oil stocks hit a record high for a third straight week, while gasoline stockpiles fell as demand jumped, the Energy Information Administration said on Wednesday. Crude inventories rose by 1.4 million barrels in the week to June 19 to 540.7 million barrels, the AIA said. Analysts had forecast in a Reuters poll a 299,000 barrel rise. Crude inventories also hit another record high on the Gulf Coast, where the bulk of the nation's refining capacity is located.
The gas industry sees no change to the strong long-run outlook for demand following the COVID-19 crisis, but expects a supply shortfall in the next 4 years as the pandemic lockdowns and oil price collapse lead to delays on gas projects. Gas producers, buyers, liquefied natural gas developers and a major contractor said in the long run the fuel will be needed to back up wind and solar power, replace coal-fired power, and produce hydrogen globally.
We will now look at the top news in the agricultural sector.
Most Ukrainian spring crops are in good or satisfactory condition thanks to return of warm weather in most of the country, weather forecasters said on Wednesday. APK Inform agriculture consultancy quoted forecasters' report as saying that only limited area in southern part of the country were still suffering from drought while other part of Ukraine has sufficient moisture content in the soil. Ukraine's government has said that severe drought in autumn, winter and early spring is likely to reduce 2020 grain harvest to around 68 million tons from a record 75 million tons in 2019.
Next we have agricultural price moves.
Chicago corn futures edged away from the prior session's 3-week low on Wednesday, although a favorable weather outlook for crops in the U.S. and weak demand were seen limiting the scope for any recovery in prices. Wheat and soybean prices were little changed. The most active corn contract on the Chicago Board of Trade CV1 rose 0.5% to $3.26 minus 3/4 a bushel, as of 10:36 GMT after dipping to a 3-week low of $3.21 minus 1/4 on Tuesday. The CBOT's most active week contract CV1 was unchanged at $4.91 a bushel, while September wheat on Paris-based Euronext rose 0.6% to €178 a ton. CBOT's most active soybean contract SV1 was down a marginal 0.06% at $8.74 minus 1/2 a bushel.
We will now take a look at energy price moves.
Oil prices fell $2 a barrel on Wednesday, as investors worried about record-high crude inventories and feared that a second wave of the coronavirus pandemic could stall the reopening of global economies and cut fuel demand. Brent crude was down $2.04, or 4.8%, to $40.59 a barrel by 15:03 GMT, a day after hitting its highest since prices started plunging in March. U.S. West Texas Intermediate crude fell $2.04, or 5.1%, to $38.33 a barrel. U.S. crude oil inventories swelled last week by 1.4 million barrels, far exceeding analysts' expectations in a Reuters poll for a 299,000 barrel rise, the Energy Information Administration said, citing rising production.
Moving on to metal price moves.
Copper eased on Wednesday as new coronavirus cases raised fears over a global economic recovery, offsetting upbeat data and potential supply disruptions in Chile. 3-month copper on the London Metal Exchange was down 0.5% at $5,878 a ton by 16:20 GMT after briefly rising to its highest since January 24 at $5,948.
Finally, we have the most recent news on the financial market.
The dollar gained on Wednesday as a rise in coronavirus cases in the United States weighed on optimism about a quick economic recovery, and as the U.S. weighed tariffs on European products. Arizona, California, Mississippi and Nevada on Tuesday reported record numbers of new cases of COVID-19, the disease caused by the novel coronavirus, while Texas set a record on Monday. The dollar index gained 0.33% to 96.45. It has fallen from a 3-year high of 102.99 in March. The euro fell 0.32% to $1.1270. It had reached a 1-week high of $1.1348 on Tuesday after data showed that a downturn in the Eurozone economy eased again this month. That is all for today's news on the commodity market. Stay tuned to Tradeflow TV as we continue to provide you with more updates. You can also follow us on Twitter at Tradeflow TV1, which allows you to watch our program on your mobile device or desktop.